people of YouTube.
I welcome you
to the Purpose Lens Photo and Media YouTube channel. If this is your first time joining, thank you for being here, number one. And go ahead and subscribe, like, share. You know the routine. You hear this on every single channel that you watch. But the reason I'm telling you to do it is because it actually is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it will allow you to know when I upload videos so that you don't have to go searching for them. So it makes it easier for you. So to continue on, this is part 2 of a video I'm doing in a series called Can You Shoot a Wedding Solo? Yes, that's the question. And my answer to that question is yes, I do believe you can do it. I realize I just said yes twice, but that just means I'm confirming that you can shoot a wedding video by yourself. But that's a big but. Not the kind you're thinking, but there's a big but. And I'm going to go over some things that you may want to know and ways that will help you when you go about shooting your first wedding video. So stay tuned. We're going to get into it. See you in a second. So the question has been answered. Yes, you can shoot a wedding video solo, so the anticipation should be gone. The answer to the question is yes. Now, I find it interesting because this question was asked in a forum, and some people don't believe that you should try it at all. And I can understand that point of view. I thought that way before I actually shot a video, just because if you've never done something before, you don't know what to expect. You've heard horror stories from other people, and it just doesn't seem like a good idea. And I can understand that sentiment 100%. Like I said, before I did it, I held the same view. But after I did it, I learned a lot, but I realized that it absolutely can be done. And you probably should do it because it allows you to get a chance to work on your own and to work on your weaknesses and to do something that maybe you have never done before. It is a great thing to be able to test yourself. And it actually, I believe, makes you a better videographer because you're not thinking so much about the gear more than you're focusing on what's going on, and you're focused in on what you need to capture, and it makes you learn your gear a lot better. But with all that being said, I want to get into part 2 of this series. In my opinion, what I believe is essential in order to shoot a wedding video solo. So the first thing I want to talk about today is an excellent attitude. Now you may be saying, what does an excellent attitude have to do with shooting a video? I mean, this has nothing to do with an attitude. It's cameras and it's angles and it's capturing the moment, right? And to that, I would say no. A great attitude or an excellent attitude is paramount in this whole thing. And the reason why is because there are going to be so many obstacles and so many things that are not going to go either A, the way you planned them, or B, the way that you thought they were going to go. It's inevitable. Your first, second, third time might not be that way, but somewhere along the way, you are going to run into problems. And it may not even be caused by you. It may be something else. It could be the bride is late. It could be the groom is late, or they said they were going to be in this room and you go there and the room's empty and the lights are off and you don't know where anybody is. So you're running around, or you're trying to call the wedding coordinator and you can't get in contact with the wedding coordinator because she's so busy that she can't answer her phone. So now you're stuck because you're trying to figure out where you need to be. And you may not have been able to make it to rehearsal or whatever it may be. So a great, excellent attitude is going to be paramount, because what that will do is it will arm you with an optimistic viewpoint. If you're not optimistic about this thing, you may not want to do it, because there are going to be so many little micro things that happen to you that if you don't have this optimistic attitude, after about 10 things go wrong in the day, you're going to want to give up and just leave your camera at the wedding and hand it off to somebody else, because you're going to be like, you know what, this is just too stressful, even if it's good money. So an excellent attitude, I believe, is going to be paramount in shooting a wedding video solo. Now, the second point here is you have to be a great communicator. Now, This comes in handy in all walks of life, to be honest with you, but especially when it comes to doing a wedding video. And the reason why is because even though you're there for a job, these are still people that we're dealing with, and you have to communicate. There are going to be people who are not nice. There are going to be cordial people. There are going to be people who are very talkative. There are going to be people who are not talkative. There are going to be people who may not like you for whatever reason. It could be many reasons. They just don't like you. So to be able to communicate and to be able to get your point across is going to be paramount. Once again, I'm going to say the word paramount probably a lot in this video. So I might put a counter down there. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to try not to say it, but I'm just saying that a lot of these things are very important. So when it comes to communication, what you want to realize and what you want to remember with communication is that you are dealing with humans. So you may think, okay, well, how does that come into play when I'm actually at a wedding shooting a video? Well, for instance, even though you may have gotten all of your cues down with the wedding coordinator, maybe there's a shot you're trying to get and somebody's in the way. Maybe someone steps right in front of your camera and now you can't get the shot because you have someone's big head in the way. So how are you supposed to deal with that? Well, here is where being a good communicator comes in key. You know, some people may say, hey, can you get out of the way, please? Now, for some people that may be okay, but I can tell you that you're more than likely going to stir up some people's emotions by speaking that way. But if you learn to communicate with people, you could address that same situation by going, excuse me, sir, listen, I'm sorry to bother you. I just need to get this shot right here. If you don't mind, just stepping to the side just a bit and even introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Steven with Purpose Lens. Yeah, I'm here for the wedding of blah, blah, blah. You know, say the people's name. And they hired me to do this. So if you don't mind, if you could just step to the side just a second, I'll only be a minute. And you can get right back where you need to be. Stuff like that really, really goes a long way. I have found, and the way that I know this is sometimes you may be working alongside a photographer. And if that photographer doesn't have that communication skill that I'm talking about, or they're not practicing that skill, you can see when people are upset with them because they're not learning how to communicate with people properly. So again, communication is very, very key in shooting a wedding. Number 3 is going to be an open mind. Kind of similar to the first one, to have an excellent attitude, but an open mind just means being flexible, being able to bend, being able to adapt to different situations. There are going to be, like I said before, so many different things that you're going to come up against, whether it be camera malfunctions, not being able to get a specific shot, maybe a lighting issue, maybe a timing issue, so many issues, so many things that can arise. So that's where your ability to be flexible is going to come in. If you can flex and not let that issue bother you, then you're going to be successful at this. If you're able to see something and find the good in it, even though it may not be good on the front end, but if you can fix it, then that's a great thing. A perfect example is you may shoot a wedding and coming down the aisle, you may accidentally trip or something like that. You know, that doesn't look good on you, but you could laugh it off, you can play it off, and you can say, hey, that comes with the job. Or you can get upset about it and you can let it ruin your whole day. So again, just having a flexible attitude and a flexible mindset is going to go a long, long way. So having an open mind is a great asset to have if you're going to be doing really anything, not just shooting a wedding video solo, but in this case is really going to help you out a lot. Now, those things that I talked about are really internal things for you to think about when you're going to shoot. But then there are some external things, I'm going to call them, that are beneficial, I believe, in my experience, that can help you become a great videographer overall, but especially doing a solo shoot, a wedding solo shoot. It's not easy if you don't implement these things, but if you do implement these things, it can be a lot easier. So I'm going to go over those things. The next one is create a to-do list with your equipment. Now, a lot of people will make an equipment list with lenses, memory cards, batteries. Those things are good to do. But what you also want to do is almost like a pre-planning plan, if that makes sense. So you're going to have a plan, but then you need to have another plan before that. And that plan is going to consist of things like getting gas in your car the day before. What you don't want to do is get in a situation, because this has happened to me before. You get in a situation where maybe you have a quarter tank of gas in your car. You end up driving, you get stuck in traffic. Now you're stuck in traffic, looking at your gas tank, praying to God that you can make it to this ceremony on the fumes that your car is running on, and trying to be on time. And then you know that you need to, after the ceremony, drive to the reception. So now you're trying to plan how you can leave the wedding, catch everything you need to catch, get gas, then drive to the reception. Little things like gas can really trip up your day if you don't think about it. So that's one of the things in this list of to-dos that you want to do. The other one is eat before you leave. I cannot stress this one enough. Let me tell you something, folks. Videographers, photographers, if you're in the industry, lighting guys, whatever it may be, you are often overlooked. Yes, it's sad, I know. You're overlooked during the ceremony, but you are valued after it. I'll say that again. During the ceremony, lighting guys, videography guys, photo guys, you're not really considered. It's not that people don't care about you. They don't think about you. The focus is not on you, and neither should it be. The focus should be on what's happening. You're there to capture what's happening. But once that ceremony is over, all of the excitement has died down. The bride and groom are at home, and that month or whatever has gone by, they're going to pull out that video and they're going to want to relive that, and they're going to want to share it with their friends. They're going to share it with their family. And what they want is a good video that has everything, that recaptures the moment that they were there. And the only way you can do that is you have to be physically in the best shape that you can be in, which means you need to eat before you go to the wedding. Because what can happen sometimes, because you're not top of mind all the time, is all of the things can be going on, all the festivities. And when everybody eats, you may be off somewhere capturing something or doing something, and you may not get to eat. And what's going to happen is you're going to get tired, you're going to get weak, and you're not going to be able to focus. And this is the time where you really, really need to be able to focus, because you want to be able to capture these shots and you want to do the best that you can do. So again, I don't want to go off into a health tangent, but your health really plays a huge, huge role in this thing, because if you're not fit to do it, if you get sick, you're going to be in a bad, bad spot. So the next one is make sure you wear comfortable shoes. This kind of goes along with the health one. You're going to be on your feet for a long, long time. If you're at a traditional wedding, sometimes you may be there 12 hours and you're going to be walking consistently on your feet. The only time you may get to sit down is during the time when people are eating, if you get a chance to eat, or when you're driving your car. But other than that, you're going to be on your feet. So make sure you have a nice pair of shoes, a great pair of shoes. And while I'm on that, some people like to wear black. I think that's a great idea, because black is a color that doesn't really stand out. You kind of blend in. You kind of, if everybody's wearing white, then you might stick out a lot. But typically black or a darker color is going to do a lot better than a lighter color when it comes to your whole outfit. So shoes, pants, shirt, all that thing. The next thing I will say in this list of what you need to have prepared before you do this wedding shoot is, people, bring some mints and gum. I'm saying this for the greater good of everyone. I will say that I have been in many situations before where I'm talking to photographers or other people, and I have to get up close and I may have to whisper something in someone's ear because the ceremony is going on. And it's nothing like somebody whispers in your ear and you just get garbage, trash bag, dump smell, like all in your face, and it smells like the swamp. That's not good. And you certainly don't want to be known as the stinky breath videographer. Trust me, that's not a good one to have. I'm not saying I've been that before. I hope I haven't. But always keep some mints on you. There are some mints, I believe they're by, I want to say Certs, but they're in a really flat pack. Like they're almost a little bit thicker than a credit card. But the beauty in these is they can fit in your pocket without sticking way out, and they don't make all of this noise and racket when you're walking around. If I can find them, I'll put it on the screen. But those are a good one to have. Also, you may want to take some gum with you as well, just to chew on and to keep your breath fresh. Now, moving on to the more technical side of things, this one is going to be something that I believe, is very important as well. Sorry, that's the Ring doorbell going off. I can't do anything about that. Anyway, it's not at this house, it's another house. Anyway, okay, so now that that's out of the way. So the second part of this, which has to do more with gear, and trust me, we're going to get into gear on this one, but I want to do these first because I believe that actually these, in order of importance, these are actually kind of at the top of importance. So that's why I want to deal with these. So the next one is you want to create a shots list. A shot list is going to detail what shots you're trying to get. Because what you want to try to do is with your client before you even shoot and as you're booking, you want to let them know and you guys want to communicate what shots they're looking for. So if it's close up of the bride when they light the candles or when they're walking down the aisle, if they jump the broom at the reception, when the speeches are being done, who do you want to be highlighted? That sort of things. When the groomsmen and the brides are getting together before the wedding, do you want shots of that? Do you want shots of the bride and groom when they take photos? So all of these things are going to be discussed at the time of booking, but you also want to create a list so that you make sure you don't miss those shots. And the reason why is because there's going to be so many things going on, people. I'm telling you, it's going to be cupcakes over here, a man over here who wants to have a conversation about how he used to shoot photography back in 1964. And he's going to be a really nice guy, but you don't really have the time to talk to him because you got to go over here and get these shots while the photographer is taking his photos. Then you need to link up with the photographer, see where he's going to be, make sure you're not in his way, that sort of thing. So again, you need to make sure you have the shot list because it's really easy to forget. And then when you're in the moment of filming, it's difficult to know if you already got a shot because you're going to be running around so much as a solo shooter. This is something that may not happen if you're with a team. Because you'll have your short list of shots that you need to get, or you're going to be at one focal length the whole time. But if you're doing it solo, you're going to be moving in and out, you're going to be moving around. So you need to have a shots list to make sure that you capture everything that you promised the client that you would capture. So now the next one is under this thing of kind of the technical side of things is you need to make sure you have a solid contact with the wedding coordinator. Now I've kind of alluded to this in the first video and a little bit in this one, but I cannot stress to you guys enough how important it is to have a solid contact with the coordinator because the coordinator is going to be the one that can tell you if something changes. You will not know. People will not tell you. People could hear something and look you right in the eye and know that it's going to affect you and they won't say anything. That's just the world we live in. So that's why it's up to you. The onus is on you to make sure you have the contact information via text, phone call, whatever format you work out with the wedding coordinator. Make sure you have the wedding coordinator. And it may not be a bad idea to get either the bride or the groom's phone number, just to make sure if there comes a time where you cannot reach the wedding coordinator. I cannot stress to you how much communication is key, especially if something changes. Now, again, in the moment, the bride and the groom may not be thinking about you, but after the wedding is over, they're going to be thinking about you. And if you didn't do your job because you didn't stay in communication, it's going to be a bad thing for you. So trust me, make sure you stay in contact with the wedding coordinator and have a solid backup contact as well. I can't stress that enough, folks. That is another very, very important one. All right. So the next one on this list is think beyond the moment. And this kind of ties in with what I was talking about before when you're shooting. So when you're shooting, what can happen is you can sort of get tunnel vision. And by that, I mean, you can be focused in on just what's going on. I like to do tight shots. That's just what I like. I like close-up shots. But what you need to do is make sure you get a wide view of what's going on. And a wide view doesn't necessarily mean a wide angle lens, but it means a variety of shots. Capture the moment, capture what's going on. Think outside of what's actually going on here and imagine if you were not here. So that's going to help you capture things that maybe you didn't think about capturing, like the entrance to the place, what the layout of the place is. This doesn't mean you have to do like a real estate style video where you're going through the different corridors and things like that, but you want to capture enough footage so that the moment can be relived. If there's a huge bouquet of balloons way up on the ceiling with LED lights and it looks crazy, get a shot of that and then pan down into the dancing or whatever is going. Get a shot of the DJ as he's DJing. Don't just focus on the bride and the groom all the time. Focus on the guests, their friends, their family, because when the bride and groom come back to watch this video, they're going to want to see these people. They're going to want to see, well, how was Uncle Joe reacting? How was Aunt Kathy? How was she responding to everything? Oh, she smiled. Oh, look at the kids. They're so grown now. These are things that you want to capture as well. So this is going to require you to think beyond the moment. You're going to be on your feet, moving around. And the other thing is, this is just a quick tidbit I'll give you. When you're capturing kids, don't shoot down on the kids. Get where they are. Get on their level and shoot eye level with them. I think it looks a lot better. That's what I like to do. That's just a tip. So again, think beyond the moment. Now, this one I've already touched on a little bit. It's wear black clothing so you don't want to stand out. And I'll just go over that again. You want to wear black clothing so that you don't stand out. Again, we are not the focal point as far as visually, we're not, but we are important during the ceremony. We want to make sure that we are well hidden in the back, but in a position to do our jobs effectively so that later we can present a quality product to our clients. So again, just wear black. And another thing is keep yourself neat. I've seen so many photographers, I've seen videographers that are just very unkept. Now everybody has different versions of what unkept is. I may look unkept to some people right now. Now, if I were going to be doing a wedding, I might, tighten myself up a little bit, shave and things like that, line myself up. But if you're going to be around people, smell good. I don't mean overdo it with the cologne. You're not going to want to throw a bunch of it on. Just have a nice smell. You don't want to smell like, a skunk or a deer. You don't want to smell like that. You want to smell fresh or just non-assuming. You don't want to draw attention to yourself either. You kind of want to just blend in. So, you are a human. So if you need to talk to somebody, your breath is fresh, your hair is nice, you look presentable, because that's not only going to put confidence in your clients, but it's also going to make you feel better as well. So again, I'm not going to go really deep on the hygiene thing, but the color black is something that I would suggest wearing because it looks nice, at least to me. Now, this is going to be the last one. And again, I've narrowed this list down. And if you guys want more, I can do another video, or add on to this one with these sort of things. But this is going to be the last one for this video. And this one kind of goes back to what I said before. But the reason I put this one separate is because I think it's very vital and important that we do this one. This one is planning an alternate route to your wedding or to the venues or whatever it may be. I'm going to tell you a story, and this is why. I had a wedding that I was going to. I left an hour early. I probably should have left earlier than that, but I left an hour early. My GPS told me I would be there 45 minutes before the time I was supposed to be there. And the time I was supposed to be there was 30 minutes before the wedding. So I roughly had about an hour and a half before the wedding started. So I thought, okay, I got a good chance of making it here on time. Get on the road, construction. Or no, it was an accident. I'm sorry, accident. So I'm sitting in an accident, traffic, deadlocked, can't move, stuck on the road. My GPS now tells me I got 2 hours that I'm going to be on this road. Wasn't a long drive, but I was stuck. So what I ended up having to do is taking some evasive action. I did some maneuvers that, I'm not going to speak about here on camera, but let's just say that was probably one of the most stressful times of my life. So as a word of caution, and I'm trying to tell you guys, please, for goodness sake, plan another route. Plan 2 routes, or maybe 3. Plan alternate routes in case you get stuck. Make sure you have another way. Because I was at the point to where I was like, I may have to walk, get off the highway, call an Uber, and just park the car on the side of the road. So it's one of those things really, you want to just plan ahead, think ahead. There are going to be some things that's going to happen that you can't control, but control as many of the things that you can by planning ahead. That's really the key to shooting a wedding solo, or one of the keys is planning ahead, making sure that you know that you have backups for things. And then on the next one, we're going to get into backup cameras and SD cards and all that kind of stuff. But I cannot stress you guys enough how important it is to plan an alternate route. Well, I hope this video has been educational for you. I hope it's been beneficial. If it hasn't, let me know below. If it has, let me know in the comments as well. Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm still trying to get that out. I keep saying it wrong. Like, share, and subscribe. There's so many people that say it anyway. I know you guys know what to do. But anyway, just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And there's going to be more videos in this series. Yes, we're going to cover gear. I know that's what everybody wants to hear, is what gear should I have? That will conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe, share, and like this video. And I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.
Be share and like and subscribe.